Wanted to put in a quick vlog on what I use to install the Raspberry Pi distro, the Wheezy distro, onto onto the SD card, and what I used, how I did it. The site that I found that gave a really great explanation. Again, another one off of elinux.org. RPI easy SD card setup, and it pretty much was. It has a bunch of different options. My favorite one is the safest, laziest way, just buy a preloaded one. Cute. Um, so what I did use is I used a Linux operating system, one that I have set up on the laptop. I thought it was kind of the most stablest one. Hey, have Linux create a Linux disk. Just made sense to me. So I didn't, although I have used Windows before, and I did download the software that they recommended. It did work for my first installation of the Raspbian distro. Raspbian is nicknamed Wheezy, so I'll call it Wheezy from now on, because what I always call it. And then you can even use a Mac OS. This is, I did use the command line, and I didn't have a lot of success. Chances are I was probably just tired. I've been up late playing with this Raspberry Pi considerably, which is why I'm having so many video blog updates. But what I did use is using the graphical interface. It just made it so much easier. And I did also manually resize. I have some examples of what I did. Although it did make some changes that I'm not sure if I like or not, and I'll show you those as soon as I move over to that screen. So here on the, I use Linux Mint on the laptop, and you can see I had Arch, the Arch Linux ARM distro. I tried that a little bit. I'll actually probably be putting that onto a virtual, as I mentioned in one of the other video blogs. So here's the Wheezy Raspbian that I have on there now, and so far it works really good with the Magpie examples. They're all based off of this, so that's the one I have on there now that I'm working on. What I use to, as detailed out in the steps using the graphical interface for Linux, is use Image Writer. There was steps on how to install it. Although it was already on my system under applications, I usually just use the search box, finds it really quick. So for Image Writer, open that up, and it's a very simple, not that hard to figure out how to use it. Just pick your pick your location of your distro. I probably should have preloaded it, but it was here we go. So it's under Home and Downloads, and there's the distro right there, and then you just pick the location. This is the one you want to be very, very careful on. If you have multiple mounts, you want to make sure you're picking the right one. It details out on different processes you can use to figure out which one you're installing. Typically, ones that are called MMC blocks are your SD card mounts. And it's after you get the correct one, make sure it is what you want, because it will delete everything on that disk. Nice thing is it didn't give me my home disk to destroy, so that's a good one. And then you just write to device. Obviously, I already have it on there, so I don't need to do that. And then after that, I use gparted to change some of the partitions to fill up the hole. Now, what I noticed when you first install the Wheezy and then you first boot, you goes to an options, which hopefully I'll be able to figure out how to get back into it now I've already had it installed, and it automatically fills up the disk with it utilizes the entire SD card. The only thing I don't like is I don't have a very big swap file on here. In fact, looking, I don't see any swap file on here. So I will probably be changing that here shortly. And I'll go ahead and make sure I record all of that and how I did it. And that's it. Once I change that, yeah, you pop it out and plug her into the Raspberry Pi, it boots up, and very happy camper.